Africa.
Okay.
Turning back the time, 2010. Different outfit now altogether with South Africa. At that time, it had Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, players from all over. But now it's Orlando Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, and a few players that are playing abroad, which means the local league has done so much better in making South Africans play in South Africa. So it's always good to pick up from there. So I think...
And this time they had to qualify. Remember, 2010, they were just the worst. So they've gone through the qualification. They've proven a point that they deserve to be at the world stage. Can they go further? Can they go out of the group and at least maybe a quarter or semi-final? So many African countries, we are looking forward to see what they can bring. We will be supporting all the 10 nations and we'll be really supporting Africa with pride.
Yeah, indeed, it has been absolutely fantastic as we are building towards the FIFA World Cup 2026, and they're just giving us a piece or two. Now I'll give you this opportunity. Who do you think is going to win this World Cup this time around?
Cristiano Ronaldo for the taking.
I think France can do it again.
Okay. You believe. Kylian Mbappe. Maxwell believes in you, but it has been absolutely fantastic. Tennis Banda, thank you so much for coming through.
It's always a pleasure, Sandra.
And then Maxwell Maduzidza, an honor.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it has been absolutely fantastic. And to you, our viewers, we value you so much. Thank you for sparing a minute or two to get to listen in on the conversations. And we always appreciate your feedback. From me, Sandra Maganya, and the crew behind the scenes, it's a goodbye for now.
It's not a U-turn, but a continuation of progress. So, Zimbabwe, let us build our Zimbabwe.
Forward again. Hatizokere shure 7 years strong to the Kulaka future. Forward again. See politics tishande, not a new term, just progress we handling. Forward again. Hatizokere shure 7 years strong to the Kulaka future. Forward again. See politics tishande, not a new term, just progress we handling. Umbiro redu, rakanyorwa nesu, tinori chinja kana nguva yasvika. Tinofamba nenguva nyika ichikura, development ndiyo yave kutungamira. Makore manomwe basa richionekwa. Ma project ese opera zvakanaka, kwete kungoramba tiri mu election mood. Ngatishande tese tite zvinhu good.
This constitution belongs to the people. We can amend it, make the system more equal. Time for development, less campaign noise. Building the nation, giving up to the boys. 7-year cycle gives time to complete. Roads and the schools make the country compete. Less money wasted on elections again. Put it in progress, invest in the land.
Tina bantu sivuma ndawonye, mthetho wethu siwubhala sonke. Uma isikhathi sichinja siyaguqula, sifuna intuthuko ilizwe liyakhula. Iminyaka yisikhombisa iyasiza, ama projects onke azophela kuhle. Asifuna ukuhlala sivota njalo, sifuna umsebenzi kusasa lihle. Forward again. Hatizokere shure 7 years strong to the Kulaka future. Forward again. See politics tishande, not a new term, just progress we handling. Forward again.
And just remember, it's football, not soccer.
The wait is finally over. This is passion. This is pride. This is the world's greatest game on the world's biggest stage. The journey to glory begins. The kings of football, the fierce rivalries, the unforgettable moments, Only one nation will lift the trophy. Get ready for the FIFA World Cup 2026 live. Every heartbeat of the beautiful game right here on ZBC TV. Feel the drama, celebrate the goals, witness history, because football unites the world. And ZBC TV brings it home from the 11th of June to the 19th of July 2026. Brought to you in partnership.
Very good day and a hearty welcome to Chawanda Stadium for the live broadcast of Match Day 16 of the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League. And of course, yesterday we were at Ascot Stadium where we witnessed that is Tel One pick up their first set of 3 points at home against Highlanders. The much-feared Highlanders were expected to get maximum points, but it wasn't to be. Today we are at Chawanda Stadium. Of course, we know about what happened the last time they were here, the skirmishes that happened, but long forgotten. It's a brand new game today as they face, that is Simba Bhora Chinuchedu, former champions of the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League. My name is Valentine Mabogo and I'm a man who never walks alone. And with me is Maxwell Mandishiza. Max, a very good day, good day for a day of football, and of course we expect fireworks from these two sides who come into this encounter after 2 draws, with the horse drawing against Moors goalless, and then Simba Bhora drawing at home against Triangle 1-0 in a game they were expected to win. It's redemption time for these two sides.
Yeah, definitely. I think they'll both feel that this game matters the most for both sides for different reasons, as you say as well, Valentine. But it's a pleasant day, as you're saying. A little bit hot now, but I'm quite sure that with the day progressing, it probably is going to get chilled, a little bit chilled. There's some air in the air as well. It feels like it's a beautiful setting for a big game like this one. Of course, Hardrock, we know about that game against Dynamos. We have forgotten about it, but we have learned so many lessons about the cost to the game. It's not even just about the infrastructure. It's a very beautiful stadium. And I think if you're a responsible football fan, you should be able to act responsibly when you come into this stadium. I mean, we are talking about a template for other teams in the future. If we have many of our teams playing in the Castle Lager Premiership with venues like this, that's definitely going to grow our game. So we shouldn't be taking away from, something that has been invested in to grow the game ourselves as well. So, that game's still to be decided to see who gets what. But Hardrock have to forget about that one. Unfortunately, also they have to forget about the game against Moors. It was a new draw playing away. It was a hard game for them. They couldn't get the 3 points, and they're coming back now to face Simba Bhora, previous champions, as you are saying, in a season before this one. And I think they will be looking forward to at least be competitive enough this time around.
Indeed, they've been blowing hot and cold, but let's talk about, issues to do with culture change. As you can see, the fans, they're there, but it's the lateness of the fans coming in. I think clubs at this juncture need to try and encourage fans to come a bit early, pre-sell tickets as well. It's about the culture changing. Your take on it?
Yeah, I think we've seen some teams trying to do it. Scotland does sell those e-tickets where you pre-book your tickets. You get to the ground already with your ticket. It's quite easier for you to then get into the game. But most of the fans, to be honest, they always want to show up late. We saw it in the Harare Derby where both ends of the fans came in probably 15 minutes into the game. And that's what causes that confusion at the gates, because the pressure is too much. But you probably have the whole day to make it to the ground. I mean, you can come at around 2, you can come at 1 and settle down with your family, with your friends, and wait for the game. I think there should be that culture shift. I think also to make that possible, I think many clubs have to adopt that format of pre-selling those tickets. And then we also have to have those electric tickets, that at the gates. If you don't pre-buy your ticket, there are no tickets going to be sold at the gates. I think if we do that, then every fan will know that you have to pre-book your tickets in time.
And of course, the fans have always spoken about what needs to be done in terms of I can't just come to your stadium at 10 and not be entertained somehow. So this is also what the clubs need to adopt and have a better understanding of, particularly about match day experience and entertainment, because it's about the entertainism that the fans would love to come and say, okay, I can come at 12 and be in the stadium to come and watch a game.
Spot on, Valentine. I think it's also about the services of being available. Like you were saying, if I come, before an hour and a half before the game, then I have to access. I have to be able to go and get my. I also have to go and get my fast food, whatever it is that I want, my snacks, and I have to have those points where I can access early in that time, and also the entertainment as well. Probably just to build up to the match day and also doing something for the fans. let's not only just concentrate on the players on the pitch, let's also remember the fans, because they are actually important in terms of growing the game altogether. Absolutely.
Indeed. Let's talk about yesterday's match where, I mean, the result wasn't expected, but it was, you know, a big result for Tel 1 nonetheless. Surprise for Highlanders, though they thought they were going to win it. They would have expected to win it with the form that they were in as well. But this season is dishing out big surprises. Look at 1 to 8. They still have a chance of clinching the title as we are about to 10 the season come the next few games.
Yeah, what a game. I mean, for Tel 1, I mean, that was a performance for the season for a team that had not won a single game at home as well. And what a strike from Nyakope, you know, from a long distance, and being able to secure those 3 points, much needed for them. Highlanders, quite disappointing. Remember, we were talking about, you know, their win against Santos by 2-1. Going to that other game, are you able to keep, you know, winning? Are you able to put in a run of games, getting those 3 points? They were not able to do that, unfortunately, for Highlanders. I think they played well, but, you know, Tel 1 were just absolutely brilliant. They were also displayed enough to be able to maintain that defensive stability, also on the attack, on the counter-attacks, and then they scored that contender of goal this season from Nyakope. What a beautiful game. Shows you how surprising the Castle Lager Premiership is. And going into the second half of the season, so many teams wanting to go for the championship as well, including the two teams that are playing today, especially Hardrock, because they've already been brilliant so far.
Let's talk about Hardrock and their title charge and where they find themselves. They must probably be under pressure with Scotland winning their game yesterday as well, 2-0. It looks like these days it's a big smash and grab quite early and getting it settled. How much of a pressure does it bring now to to Hardrock when they come at home, because they need to pick up maximum points in this game?
You know, it's getting quite tense. You're talking about Scotland, the defending champions, and at the start of the season, they looked like they were, a little bit behind, but now they're on top and they were scoring goals. Yesterday, we saw Walthamsona with that wonderful free kick. And Hardrock themselves, remember, they actually were able to beat Hunters by 6-1, which I believe is probably the highest scoring game so far in the season. Now the pressure is up. I think, you realize how competitive both teams are, and Hardrock coming in as a newcomer into the league. Remember, we have seen that happening as well with Scotland first season, going on to win the championship. Hardrock would want to do the same thing, but it's not going to be easy. Caps United as well, still wanting and still vying for the championship. So it's very exciting, and I think the return games are going to be important, and also these home games. This is where you have to capitalize and make sure that you can get the 3 points if you have the chance to do so.
Indeed, and of course, so let's talk about Simba Bhora themselves, the former champions. They've been really found their form this season. But against big teams or so-called big teams, they look like they rise to the occasion all the time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think in the last 5 games, it's been a little bit poor in terms of form for them. Probably just winning one of those, and with some draws in between. They haven't really shown us, in terms of making sure that they win games by larger margins. I mean, it's a solid team. If you look at it, they do have decent players in that team. The ones that you can say, well, you can rely on. But now sitting ninth on the log table, I think they really have to push on and at least change some of those draws into wins. And they have been lagging behind. But on big teams, on big days, they are quite able to show up, and I hope that they can show up today, this afternoon.
Indeed, as you can witness, the team arrivals there, as the two teams did arrive with the home side, obviously arriving first. This is Hardrock FC. They're the home side arriving and looking at the players as they disembark from their magnificent bus, of course. You have to add that, bringing their stuff. It looks like it's a good trend for our teams, as the teams slowly are professionalizing, as we also went inside there to check the dressing rooms and check also how they've also, hung out the jerseys. This is an immaculate stadium, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, look at that dressing room. I mean, it's absolutely wonderful. These are the cup standards that we were looking for, and it's brilliant to see as well. And then the team at home, I think they would want to really take advantage of playing at home today, as we're just also seeing some of those jersey numbers and the players to look for. We were talking about the likes of Washington Navaya, who was also representing the Warriors in the Unity Cup, coming back straight into the team. I think is one of the players to look for this afternoon as well.
Indeed, some of the big players that are going to be, we're going to hear in a few moments' time, a bit later on, going to hear from the two coaches what they had to say in terms of who's available, who's out, who's in, and some of the tactics that they will share looking at this encounter here, match day 16 of the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League, and it pitches two teams that are looking to pick maximum points desperately. And of course, let's check at Simba Bhora as they arrived as well, because today they're desperate for maximum points. They've always known how to show up against the so-called big teams, or those that are in the leading pack. And of course, Hardrock are in the leading pack there, and they'll be a bit under pressure to win this one, with Scotland winning their game yesterday. And of course, you also have Caps United playing ZPC Kariba, that is today as well, and they will look to continue putting the pressure on Ngezi as well, doing well yesterday, and of course winning their game. So that means that all the pack and all the big teams are really picking up maximum points, and you don't want to slip up at this juncture and allow advantage to your competitors, this especially for that is Hardrock. But speaking of Simba Bhora themselves, blowing hot and cold nonetheless, but it looks like they need to pick up points, but it's not helping. They've got a goalkeeper suspended. They've got their first choice also away on national duty. They also have players injured as well, not available. Adrian Silla not available as well for the team. So is Harrison Messina as well. That should impact them. Not that they don't have the quality on the bench to come and fill in and get the team to really kick on and get a result. Probably here at Chawanda Stadium, which is a difficult fit because they've only lost once here against the Islanders.
Yep, quite difficult for the manager Mpofu. To be able to fill in those games, especially the goalkeepers department. You have to do with what you have, unfortunately. And that's why I was talking about, the previous games as well. We were talking about when you have a player suspended and you probably have to play your third choice goalkeeper, you're probably going to see how good he is. And that's the situation today for
big opportunity.
Big opportunity. If I was me, I think I would love it as well. Not to say you'll be wishing for your fellow goalkeepers to get injured, but I mean, it gives you the chance to show the coach exactly what you have to offer. And I think that's what is going to be happening today, but different because they're not playing at their home ground. They're playing away here in Kwekwe, and it's probably going to change everything.
Indeed. Let's look at the warm-up as well. It's good to see Donald Mudadi also being in the team today, and he's probably going to start as well. And he is such a good impact player, particularly playing at home. He plays in that flair that can get the crowd going, isn't it?
Yeah, quite technical. I think he's a wonderful player as well, quite gifted. And in terms of how he is able to control the tempo of the game sometimes as well. Key player, one of the key players, especially for Hardrock as the season continues. He has been very instrumental in the wins that they've been able to get. And I think he's going to be one to look out for. Looks like a very good team this afternoon for Hardrock with those players in.
And of course, they bring in the experience of Masimba Mambare as well. Years of experience, nomadic. He has played at the highest level for the biggest teams. He should not be overrode. I know edge might not be on his side, but experience sometimes does count, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. Masimba Mambare, I mean, it's a household name in Zimbabwean football. And I think it just brings that composure in that team. Of course, probably not going to play all the 90 minutes, but the coach, Kevin Kanindu knows exactly why he has to be in that team. And I think...
And there's a starter as well.
Yeah. Brings that balance in that team. If you look at the games that they've been able to play, they've been able to shift the tempo so well and adjust to fast games, to low tempo games, pick up the pace, being able to be creating those chances. I think the combination between the players has been the difference for Hardrock, if you look at the season so far. And I think that's why they're quite a threat for the championship. And I think it's why also you could say, well, you probably pick them for, potential championship winners this season.
Indeed, and of course, right now he's back in the country. That is the navigator, Washington Navaya, who will look to add some impetus in the attack for Hardrock. I'm sure they solidly missed him last time around against Moss.
Definitely. Well, they would have thought if he was there, he was probably going to get the goals for them. Well experienced. You remember he also did win at the Castle Lager top goal scorer of the year in his season last time around, with Tewa now coming in to Hardrock. I think he's a key player. I don't know about the jet lag though, if he's going to be able to come in straight in and provide the goals. But what a big player for them, and it's a blessing for them to have all those players, quite fit and being able to be, halfway into the season, still, with no big injuries in the year or day. So I think, Kelvin will be quite happy with the setup and the team that he has today, and probably make sure that they can get the 3 points today after having that draw against Moss.
Indeed, it's a big match for Kevin Kayinde at home. He needs to pick up maximum points to keep pace with those sitting at the apex. That's what you'll be looking for and asking for from his players today, and for the fans as well, to deliver those 3 big points. That's what you'll be wanting to deliver today, Kevin Kayinde. And of course, let's get to see as well the arrival and the warm-up of that is Simba Bhora. And one of the players that I think of big note is Blessing Dereki. For me, outstanding even during his days at Yada, and then he moved on to Simba Bhora. He is a key player for them, always available, always a gritty one, and he does have that pass to split any defense.
Yeah, definitely. Look, if you look at the season that they won, Simba Bhora with Tondra and Delaya, the championship, they had the likes of Ultram Sona, in their flanks, and they also had the likes of Timon Machope. We were able to provide them with those, with those goals. Now you look at this team, as it stands so far, those are probably one of the, key players that they have in a season. It's probably not going to look the same like the past days when they were champions. It's a difficult season for them so far. They have not been able to kick on and maintain the pace. Probably it's because of the teams on top who have just been brilliant more than them. You talk of Gates, you talk of Scotland. I think they've just been a little bit way better for Simba Bhora. So it looks like a shadow of their former self, but they do have 1 or 2 key players there that can make sure that they're game changers in their game.
And of course, we'll be looking up front for Nomo Tabora. I mean, he's been a key and a cock for them as we see him warming up there. He's going to be very key today in terms of them getting goals and also holding play and feeding also to those oncoming midfielders to try and beat that is Hardrock their own fortress.
Yeah, he does have a very good link-up play. I do like his agility as well in the game. It's a difficult game where you are playing away from home. You do need players who are able to, at least create something from nothing. And I think Tabora is one of those players you'd be looking at as well. And, I think it's all about how they start this game, if you're talking about Simba Bhora, because Hardrock, of course, playing at home will be coming on them. Are you able to at least play the game in phases and make sure when you get those breaks, when you get those chances, you utilize it and make sure when you get a clear-cut chance, you make sure that you bear it. I think that's how the tactics that they should be implying playing away at home this afternoon.
So just in case you've been wondering what are the tactics and what are who's available, who's not for them, before we give you even the lineups, we managed to speak to the coaches, and we start with Kevin Kayinde before we go to Madam Pofu.
Playing at home. Last week we couldn't get maximum points against the Moors. From the team that played against Moors, we have made 3 changes. Navaya comes in after being on duty with the national team. Andrew is unfortunate, he's no longer with us, his contract ended. We've got a few changes also in our backline where our captain is not featuring today. But we hope that every player that has given the assignment today will come to duty.
A massive game for us. I guess very, very massive game for us. Not good games in the last 4 games. I think we have done well as Simba Bhora. Something that we are worried, but I guess we've got a very good opportunity to redeem ourselves. Maybe a new month and a new phase, and we expect to say we prepared well, and we want to play this game and win it at all costs. The players that are going to step in today, they will play for the bench as much as possible. Yes, 2 good key players plus Tole. Remember, our first choice goalkeeper went to Malawi for national team. So we have got three good players that are not here. Plus Petras, and Namibian striker, is injured again. But I guess we've got plenty Arsenal. I think we have a good composition of the team. Anyone given opportunity today, I think he has to play for the bench and sweat blood.
Indeed, you had there from the 2 coaches what you can expect. And what we are expecting today is a blood and thunder encounter. What promises to be an exciting matchup between these 2 sides, desperate for 3 points. For Simba Bhora, they need to bring a bit of consistency into their game so that they can be really back into the thick of things with it. While for Hardrock, it's about getting 3 points at home so that they keep pace with the local leaders and make sure that they can win this encounter. This is the excitement that we bring here ZBC TV on this match today. Don't forget, in other centers, it is, of course, the Caps United hosting ZBC Kariba, Triangle host FC Platinum, that is at the Gibo. Then at Sakuba Stadium, it is, of course, Manica Diamonds hosting Dynamos. And here, the match we're bringing you live right on ZBC TV. It is Hardrock, that is the Kasongo boys, taking on Chinuchedu Simba Bhora. So right now, let's take you to our match commentator, Tendai Spanda, together with, that is Max, who will be giving you the live commentary. Let's take you to the commentary box for this live broadcast of this great encounter, match day 16 of the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us for this live coverage of match day 16 in the Castle Lager Premier League. We are here at Chawanda Stadium in the heart of Kwekwe. A sunny day, a good atmosphere for a game of football. This is the home team, that is Hardrock, currently sitting on third position. That will be taking on visitors that have come all the way from Shamva. And we are talking about the 2024 Castle Lager Premier League champions, that is Simba Bhora. The stage has been set. Everything is in its finer details for us to witness what is going to be a glorious game of football. On your screens, you can see the match officials and the teams in their respective colors marching out of their dugout and moving onto the center of the pitch. And we are as excited as you are from everywhere across the world that you are tuning in from. So much has been happening as we are getting closer to the business end of the first half of the season. And we are going to be in the transfer window, which means a number of teams are going to be tweaking and making sure they are busy in the transfer market. But before we get to that, we have to wait for the national anthem of Zimbabwe, and we are underway after that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the national anthem of Zimbabwe, a true indication that we are about to get into a match day number 16. And once again, a welcome fans of football across the world, fans of football in Zimbabwe, and fans of the Castle Lager Premier League. My name is Tendai Spanda, in the main commentary gunch, and besides me is Maxo Mandiziza. We are going to be giving you this live coverage of Chawanda Stadium, where Hardrock, the home team, is going to be taking on Simba Bhora. It's an affair between 3rd and 9th. Max, what a game we do have on our hands.
Yeah, beautiful day for a game tonight. It's a big game for both teams for different reasons. Also, Hardrock coming from a draw against Moz away. And they also do have a game that has not been decided, the outcome against Teramos. But if they're able to get a win today, they'll be able to push themselves as well on the log table.
Now, those are the match officials on your screen. The center referee is Kwanele Manenda, and the first assistant, Tafaz Wankala, second assistant, Polai Dube, and the fourth official, Messi Mayimbo. The match commissioner, Brighton Mudzamiri. These are the people that are going to be in charge of deciding what goes on the pitch, the understanding of the law. And we wait for the confirmation of the teams that have been trusted by the respective managers as we wait for the game. And starting off with the home team. 3 changes coming in from the team that has been trusted by Kevin Kayindu. Tonderai Mateonga is in goal, joined by Chauton Sbanda, Tinotenda Maringani and Marshall Gavaza as part of that back 3. Mishek Mwenya, Mnashe Bamara, Washington Navaya also in that midfield. Donald Mdadi, Simelani Sambulo and Masimba Mambari, Nalisweth Lamini will make that front 3. A different setup as they're going to be playing in a 3-5-2. And also Kevin Kayindu enjoying the return of Washington Navaya from international duty. Now for the visiting team, Chinani Simbarashe comes on after William Tole has been representing Malawi on international duty. Tafa Webster and Lawrence Chazia coming in. Ishmael Nyani together with Nomo Tsabura. Tuchaona Chipunza, Kevin Dereki and Carlos Mavurume in that midfield. Butolesko Ngube and McCartney Nesweb together with Carlos Mukumbira will be starting up front. 5 changes altogether coming in from Simba Bhora as Addison Masina, Adrian Sila are out due to suspension. Samba and Petrus are going to be nursing injuries, and like we said, William Tole and international duty. So these are the teams that are going to be trusted to start, and looking into the head coach, that is Mandla Mpofu for Simba Bhora, as is waiting anxiously and anticipating what will be taking place on the field of play this afternoon.
Yeah, very strong setup coming in from Hardrock tonight. You were talking about the return of Navaya. I think it was quite missed. And they would have thought that Agares Mosi probably could have gotten them the goals, but he's back at the team now. And you'll be looking forward to see how he links up play with Mndadi in front there. And for Simba Bhora, the same thing. And Eliswa Zamini.
And without the first whistle has been blown by the center ref, and we are underway. And if you're just joining us, we are looking into the team in green and white being the home team. Hardrock taking on the team in purple, attacking from the right side of your screen to the left. Ishmael Nyani, the skipper, sending it forward. Well, they played the last 2 games, Hardrock, without the mercurial forward, Washington Navaya, who's the reigning top goal scorer and the player of the season in the 2025 season. And now he's back, which means there's a lot of confidence going forward, as he is the man who usually gets them the much desired goals.
Yeah, quite central to everything they do. And he does also get that support.
And now Hardrock waiting for the perfect pass, but taking so much of the time before unleashing their pass. And first attempted goal, just trying to hit the back of the net in under 2 minutes. But it was a wayward effort coming in from Hardrock, as Naliswat Lamini almost thought he was going to be on target.
Yeah, deciding to go with the knee there. Quite surprised about that choice. I thought probably the front of his right foot could have been a better idea. But first look at goal for Hardrock. Disappointed by himself, Lamini there. Yeah, good chance early in the game.
Now playing it in the middle of the park as Simba Bhora will try to go forward. Now Washington Navaya attacking from the far side as he's darting into the box. but there's heavy resistance from the centre back. Lawrence Chazier not allowing the man with 6 goals so far in the season to add another one to his goal tally. So let's move it. Being given so much time to make decisions on the ball. And remember, when the game starts, it usually takes a couple of minutes until the plan for either team starts to materialize. For some teams, it's just a matter of moments when they hit the ground running. And for some, it takes a little bit of time until they get imposed into the field of play. Hardrock.
Yeah, Hardrock probably looking for a quick start. And Simba Bhora trying to just get a few of the ball, trying to pass it around, make sure that everyone gets a touch.
Ishmael Nyani. The support comes from the midfield. Ball being played forward. And they seem to be intentional about the way they want to go forward. But good defending altogether from Hardrock. Now Washington Avaya. Little step overs and crossing it into the box, but no man in the box. Trying to attack it from the right side, Hardrock. But it's an effort that goes in vain.
Yeah, good push forward there from Navaya. Just looking for players in the box. Unfortunately, not really committing as much players early into the game, but good start for them. I think they've been able to release their wing players as well, getting some spaces and getting some freedom on the flanks.
Shelton Spander. Now Sambola Milani. And a wayward pass. As Simba Bhora, we're just trying to get forward. And like we were saying, Max, it takes a little bit of time for some teams to settle and start to show what it is that they want to be doing on the field of play. And it's only 4 minutes. Now Hardrock crossing it into the box, trying to bring it down Washington Navaya, but just too high for him.
Yeah, just a little bit overcooked there. Navaya, we were just talking before the game about whether he was going to be ready for the game. After coming straight back into the team, it looks like he has had a good start so far.
Hit long and forward by Simbarasi Chinani. A Hardrock. Shot of Spander. But the ball has been taken away from him. Concedes position. Now Buteleswe. Nue. Dereki. You could think that the match official was going to block that one with the boots exposed. And now going forward. Simba Bhora will unleash from distance. The first attempted goal for either side. And it's a shot that has gone wayward. But good enterprising play altogether.
Yeah, first push forward coming from Simba Bhora. Unfortunately, that one just going a bit way away from goal. Good strike indeed. Just missing its target. I think they'll get a little bit of relief. Just releasing the shot, trying to chase the goalkeeper Simba Bhora. I think they've realized how Hardrock has been playing Simba Bhora, and they've maintained their positional discipline, especially in the first 6 minutes of the game. You really don't want to overload yourself going forward, leaving spaces for Hardrock behind. And you still want to balance it out with decent attacking opportunities. And that's exactly what they've been trying to do.
So the last attempt came from David Nawasib. We just tried to attack the ball from outside the box. We've seen fantastic goals so far this season, with a number of players hitting them with so much power from distance, and that is Kevin Kaindu, the man who was with Dynamos in their relegation phase, did make them avoid the dreaded chop, and now he is with the team that's currently sitting on 3rd position. It's been a good start to the first half of the season for Kevin Kaindu.
Yeah, it has been wonderful. And with a win today, they're probably going to be able to push themselves as well, probably to the 1st position. And also, I think the one thing that will probably an issue that they want to be solved quickly is their game against Dynamos. You always want to know exactly how much points you are working with. Unfortunately for now, they have to do with what's on the ground. But good job so far. You know, they look like a real title contender, especially with their performances. I remember also winning by 6-1, probably the highest scoring game so far in the season. They've just been scoring for fun so far.
Well, they are the only team who have scored the highest scoring goals in the current Kasolaga Premier League season, 6-1 against FC Hunters. You saw the likes of Donald Mdali scoring in that game as well. So they do know how to attack the back of the net. And if anything, you are guaranteed that Hardrock will give you a little bit of goals in every game that they've played. Now charging forward, the home team sending it long and forward for the talisman, Washington Eye. The skipper not letting the goalkeeper control the ball, and you don't want that miscommunication between your defender and your goalkeeper. Nishek Ngwenya. And from the early moments, we can definitely see that they are going to be using a lot of the target men. Simba Hardrock.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, beautiful cross into the box. Almost from Washington Navaya. Whisk away. Could have been the opener for him. Good cross into the box and good challenge as he directed his head towards the ball. Just unfortunate not to get the ball into the back of the net. Washington Navaya.
I was just about to talk about him, Tendai, just before this chance. Missing by mere inches. Rising up, a very good header from Navaya. He's just been doing all the hard work so far in front for Hardrock. It looks like he's quite eager to get on the score sheet this afternoon. I think Hardrock were quite disappointed with the new draw that they played out against Moz, which is never an easy game anyway. And they really would want to make sure they get those 3 points and don't fall behind the likes of Ngezi and also Scotland, who look like they are now really playing for the championship.
Now, if anything, this game is going to be giving you a lot of exciting moments from the middle of the park. Two teams with good midfielders, both attacking midfielders and defensive midfielders. Players who really know how to control the tempo and the rhythm of the game. You talk of Utalesu Mube, you talk of Manashe Bamara. These are the players that make sure that the game is ticking. And I'm quite sure that if the game is going to be won by these two teams, it probably would be coming from the midfield. Now when you're playing it forward, but a loose pass that Hardrock then pouncing. A lot of space to cover. And was looking for Washington now played on the right side. Ooh. And just not weighing properly that pass as he was just trying to play it through the defenders, finding his target man.
Yeah, I think it was a wrong pass for Tetenda Mrangani. After getting some possession just outside the box. And it's been Navaya that they've been looking for. I think they know how dangerous he is. And they've been able to create so much space, especially with the overlaps. That should be a worrying sign for Simba Bhora early in the game. They do have to watch those overlaps.
So looking for a foul, they do get it. Dereki just being brought down closer to the center line. So 12 minutes have been played and no goals have been scored by either side. No clear-cut chances as well for us to talk about. It just shows you how maybe equally balanced the game still is. And probably a goal would definitely open it up. So now Simba Bhora to restart play. Not the best pass going forward. And now Washington Nawai not trusting his own speed. 2 players to his right. Now Sambolo Sulemani. Can he keep the ball in play? Flicking it back. But he concedes position. Well, Washington Nawai could have gone on the counter, but maybe just didn't believe that he could do it alone. We could go solo. Rather, he waited for the 2 players. Totenda Maringai. Washington Nawai. And that goes way up into this Chawanda skies. No chance of it causing any troubles for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, 2 mistakes coming from Simba Bhora, one after another. Unfortunately, they could have been made to pay here. Navaya and the defender coming through. Navaya was calling for a corner kick, but absolutely dreadful from Simba Bhora. You really don't want to be giving the likes of Navaya those freebies like that. And that one goes way over into the B arena, I would believe.
Oh, it's still a football stadium, but not the one in use this afternoon. Donald Mudadi weaving his way through, something that the fans enjoy as well. Now Shoughton Spanda believed he was supposed to get that pass as he was making that run on the right side. Lamini being brought to the ground and the foul has been blown. It's free kick. Playing it quickly on at least with Lamini. And they've been told to restart that play, probably due to playing the ball whilst it was rolling. Mudadi crossing it to the box, but fails to beat the defenders. We're just standing along that defensive line on the box. So good points they've accumulated so far, 28 points. Only 3 points off first position, which currently is occupied by Scotland. At some point, Hardrock were the team on top of the log table. But they've done so much well to make sure that they don't drop out of the top 3, the top 4. They are there, making sure that everyone who's thinking they're a contender knows that they are there as well.
Yeah, they have been brilliant, not only with the wins that they've got, also they've been very defensively solid as well. Probably they have the second best defense in the league so far. Only Scotland is better. They've conceded the least number of goals so far, and they've scored plenty.
Simba Bhora just trying to take it forward. The ball that was looking for no more Tsabora. And you were talking about them being defensively sound. And looking into match day 16, they've only conceded 6 goals so far, which means they are doing quite well in 9 clean sheets. And only, like you said, Scotland have a better clean sheet record with Nelson charging at 10 that they have, and they are currently sitting in second with 9 clean sheets.
Yeah, and that's how you want to be playing if you want to be winning in the championship in your maiden season at Rock. I think Scotland, the defending champions, have definitely shown everyone that they are not going to be giving it away quite easily. Now, Hardrock will know that they have to win their games if the other top 2 teams continue to do that, which is Ngezi and Scotland, which definitely makes up for a very interesting second half of the season with games coming up.
16 minutes at Chawanda Stadium. A decent turnout, decent number of fans that are still trickling into this magnificent piece of infrastructure.
Yeah, wonderful. We were talking about the responsibility of the fans to take care of the infrastructure of the bucket seats and the stadium as a whole.
Now Neliswa Dlamini looking for the run of Tunatenda Mringani, who then crosses it into the box, looking for a player on the back post, does so much well to keep it and slicing the ball, but just not finding the perfect connection to drive it into the back of the net. But what a strike from Sambula Similani rather.
Yeah, good strike in the box. Going at it first time after that cross into the box on that bounce. He did manage to get a very good shot there. Unfortunately, it was just riding over with the pace that he put it on. That could have been a wonderful goal if that one was in the back of the net. He's also been very impactful on this right flank, Similani.
Well, it's a very difficult technique to get it properly done. Just slicing through the ball. Sometimes you hit the ball under it and it prompts it to go way above where you want it to land. Amanashe Bamara playing it through, going forward. He will take a shot from distance, but he hits it a teammate on his way, and Washington seems to have gone on the ground. And like expected, the match official will stop the game immediately because of a head injury.
Yeah, then he should definitely respond quicker. That was a powerful shot that hit Navai, I think, on his left ear. He was definitely going for goal. And unfortunately, just hitting him there on the head. Looks fine to continue. I think there's just been a shift of approach from Hardrock. They've realized the mistakes that Simba Bhora have been making, and they're now looking forward to capitalize from that. No, nasty one, that one. Fortunate for him. And I think they also have to make sure that they go through the concussion protocol before he returns into the pitch. But it does look fine to continue, Navaya.
Oh, the big striker is up on his feet as he'll be waiting to be reintroduced. Not the perfect cross into the box from Sambolo Similani. Changing flanks. Now coming through on the far side, Simba Bhora. But Mringani does so well to keep the danger away from reaching the ball. Now they go on the counter charge, but not so many green and white shirts ahead of him, and he will recycle play. Taking so much time and the patience. No need to hurry, that is probably the message if there's a lot of traffic. Shimmy. Show me your number. But the pressure is now coming in. That is one of the dangers when you play from behind. The moment you take the ball longer to clear or move it forward, it means the press is going to be coming on you. And you have to be really quick if you don't want to be attacked as soon as possible.
Yeah, definitely. I think Simba Bhora now pushing forward and putting pressure on Hardrock.
Now he dropped it to the box, but then he has been flagged for offside.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think they've realized that if they continue playing the way they were playing, Hardrock were going to be all over them, and now they've been pushing forward, and that warranted that mistake there on the left side, and unfortunately here being caught for an offside, but good pressure coming in from Simba Bhora.
Bamara. One of the few players in the league that are quite press resistant. Really good with the ball on his feet.
Well, I always thought that Hardrock were going to have most of the ball. They've definitely had the possession, and they've been able to get the spaces in. Now looking for the opener. But Simba Bhora also have played a little bit well in their approach going forward. Just some mistakes here and there, which I think they have to rectify. They're still in the game. It's only just 21 minutes played so far.
So now they go forward, moving. now they do get a throw in. So it hasn't been easy for them to get into the final third. Still being played on the close to the corner flag. Simba Bhora not allowing anything to stop them with their charges.
Yeah, just seen a little change in Simba Bhora's approach so far. Trying to hold the ball a little bit more and being accurate with their passing. I think that's a good idea. As we were just saying, the away fans, Simba Bhora fans, singing loudly, supporting their team.
Sambulo Simelane. Mudadi. He does find Tunatenda Muringani. Quick fit from the left back. But they do concede position. Now Carlos Mira. So let's move it. A challenge, I thought, coming in from Donato Mudadi. But he's trailing lead. He has fouled another good midfielder in the process. So let's move it. Very industrious. One of the few players you expect to cover each and every blade of grass. So now this is the 9th time Kevin Kaindu will be marching his troops here at Chawanda Stadium. They've done so on 8 occasions, and in those 8 occasions they've managed to win 4 games here at home. And they've managed to get 2 draws, so a total of 14 points they've managed to get here playing at Chawanda Stadium. I think when they look at that history so far in the first half of the season, they would want to get more wins at a stadium that is slowly becoming a fortress or a spirit place for them. Too much for Tunatenda Muringai.
Yeah, definitely. I think they've been able to give us some of their best games so far at this stadium. And probably would want to also do the same on the road. And if you want to win a league title, that's when you realize how long the season is. But so far, so good for them. Still some big games coming through, and also those return fixtures as we get towards the second half of the season.
Taking their time, Hardrock. So they are looking for options to pierce this rather solid defense from the team in Pepo. Melis with Lamini. Changing passes with Shibamara. Now Muringai trying to play through. He does find the pass. And you would have thought that Simba Mambari was going to go for the shot. Instead, he was looking for the assist.
Yeah, Mambari, I think, had an opportunity there to take the shot himself.
Straight into the goalkeeper's hands.
He just decided to find a pass. I think he had the space and the time to at least take a strike, Mambari. And unfortunately, they can't get anything else on the resulting corner kick. But a good play from Hardrock.
Simba Mambari, the 7th of the Kasalaga Premier League, has played for so many teams. And is still one of the remaining survivors. Yeah, seen it all from the old crop he used to play with to the new crop. And by the time he started playing, the likes of Chakuchichi were not even playing. The foul on Donald Mdadi. And that is the honor of this club and the man behind the building of this fantastic stadium, Shipa Chawanda.
Yeah, enjoying himself. Enjoying the fruits of his labor, I should say. And the team definitely not disappointing. I think it'll be a very good return on investment if they go on to win the championship in their first season in the Kasalaga Premiership, I would reckon.
We have seen so many teams win the championship in their first season. still a slow start. I think still lacking in that quick decisiveness. And if that could be added to this game, we could be seeing some goals being scored. They've kept the composure, they've kept it clean. But maybe it's just a goal that will open up this game, like we've been saying so far in 27 minutes. And not so many chances, clear-cut chances have been created.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just the goal that has been missing. Most likely Hardrock looks like the team to score first, but Simba Bhora have not been so bad, especially with the chances that they've been able to get. No clear-cut chances so far. Hardrock would think that they could have done better. Washington Avaya probably coming the closest to open the scoring with that header, as well as Simelane on the right flank with his shot just going a tot over the bar.
Chachawana Chikunze keeping the ball quite well and that meet you off the park. Naliso Flamini just coming in too strong. Coming in clumsily to just bring no more Tabora down. What has been a difficult start to the season for Simba Bhora. And in the last 5 games, they've only managed to win 1 and 2 draws, 2 losses. Shot from distance. Way away. But the goalkeeper was way up to the toss. And clearly that was the intention from the goal striker.
Yeah, good strike from range. The goalkeeper, fortunate enough, it went straight to him. Tabora with the left foot, one of the key players for Simba Bhora, testing the goalkeeper.
Now got a kick into the box, or trying to hit it, trying to go for a volley. Bamara has Washington Awai and has been flagged for offside. Wow, he's protesting his innocence. He thought he was way onside when this ball was played to him by Menashe Bamara. Quite close, as you would call it.
Yeah, Navaya was just concentrating and getting control of the ball, only to find out that the flag was already up. A close score, I would imagine. That coming after some good play from Simba Bhora. Now giving something to think of for Hardrock as well.
Simelane playing back to his centre back. Hardrock playing in a back 3. And Marks, we were talking about how difficult wins have been hard to come by for Simba Bhora. The last time they won, it was against ZPC Kariba on the 9th of May, and it was a 2-1 victory. And from then, it almost seems it's a month, and they haven't managed to get a win for themselves.
Yeah, definitely probably a single win in the last 5. That's something that has to change. And that's why they're probably sitting 9th so far. And a little bit far off from the top of the table. I think they've just not been able to convert those winnable games into 3 points. Also coming from a 1-0 draw as well. A bit worrying for Simba Bhora, which is an outfit that has been good so far in terms of their ball playing.
Loose pass coming in from Sambola Simelane. The only positive maybe Hardrock will be taking is that the moment they lose the ball, they do quite well to recover and regain possession. Mandereki is just waiting for the ball to drop behind the defenders. Bamara to Nelis with Lamini. Maringai has Mambare ahead of him. The cross doesn't go anywhere. Now Bamara darting further forward. If Simba Bhora are going to be taking any positives this afternoon, is that from the 5 wins they have this season, now from a distance and wayward from a Simba Mambari And we always talk about how you see players shooting from a considerable long distance. It just shows you how defensively sound the opposition is. Failing to get those decisive passes into the box will force you to shoot from a very long distance.
Yeah, Mambare just a little bit disappointed with himself. They not being able to hit the target. But they've just been getting so much joy and so much spaces. And you also see Moringai overlapping on the left flank, being able to add numbers going forward for Hardrock. But they definitely have to do better in front of goal.
Now the skipper considered position. Now I can get to the ball, and it does open the scoring for Hardrock. The talisman back, and he has found the back of the net. He can cause all sorts of problems, and he doesn't need so many chances. And with this one, he has buried it with so much ease. 1-0 for Hardrock.
Yeah, a third mistake coming in for Simba Bhora, and finally they get punished. We talked about the two mistakes that they made, and fortunately for them, they didn't concede anything from it. But finally now, Navaya says no more of that, and managed just to slot it home over the goalkeeper. We had seen the error and come off his line, but a wonderful finish from Navaya, who managed to weigh it just correctly to put it over the goalkeeper. And a very good pass coming through here, and on the bounce, Navaya gets the opening goal for Hardrock, but unfortunately for Simba Bhora, terrible mistake in the back there, and they get punished for it.
Well, good technique from the talisman. With only one touch, he slots it into the back of the net. It was a mistake from the skipper, Webster Tafa, who kept the ball for way too long, and the pressure and the press from Hardrock was just too much. And with that, they were punished. A punishment that would be too heavy to repay. But the question is always how are they going to recover, and how are they going to respond after going 1-0 and under 33 minutes?
Yeah, you never want to concede in such a manner in a difficult game like this one. Unfortunately for them, just have to forget about it and make sure that you concentrate on getting back in the game.
Now trying to look for a response through Ishmael Nyani, looking for options. Ngube will play it back. Now Botelese, they're trying to dig it up, and there's a hand to it, and it's been flagged for handball. And it almost looks like they're now starting to look for that equalizer, and so many fans, even the Chinese, are here with us enjoying the beautiful game of football.
Yeah, then the fans have been turning up now. The Kasongo end almost filling up. There's been a couch of a lot of shows coming to the ground from the fans. We were talking about how you see some fans still trying to get in during the half-time break, but a very decent turnout so far at Chawanda Stadium.
Bamara exchanging the wing that he's been playing in. Teles Nue. Dereki. Oh, they are still playing from behind, not changing their approach after going down due to that mistake. Probably they think they can rectify it, but they wouldn't want to commit another costly mistake and they are on a defensive third.
Yeah, and also good praise coming in from the goal scorer Navaya, not making them race in the backline for Simba Bhora. I think they'll be disappointed with conceding that goal. Quite an easy one to concede, a soft one with that error, but that does happen in football, and you just have to focus on making sure that you respond and you're able to at least get back in the game before the halftime break.
Now I almost thought it was offside, and he is offside. Waited before he met that run, and instinctively he knew that was probably way ahead of the shoulder of the last defender, and didn't even wait for the near side assistant to lift his flag. So restart for Simba Bhora. Ishmael Nyani. Back to Webster Stafford, the captain. Almost making a mistake, playing it into the path of Washington Avaya. He does pounce on it if you give him so much grace with those loose passes. Good turn from Kumbira, but concedes possession on his way. Navaya trying to play Masiba Mambari. We knew quite well that he was not going to win that foot race.
I planted ball from Mambari in front of the linesman, and he was always going to be flagged for a foul there. But they're leaving dangerously, Simba Bhora. We just saw that near mistake there. I think they just have to make sure that they play it differently and make sure that they're accurate with their passing.
Carlos Mukumbira. Now, so far the midfield battle has been won by Hardrock. Washington Avaya. And exposed boots from Vitalis Winuve. And he gets the yellow card, the first one of the game. He is quite reckless sometimes.
Yeah, he gets the yellow. The referee says enough is enough for that high put. And now it looks like Hardrock now in control of this game, trying to get the second and at least make sure that they go into the break probably with 2 goals. And Simba Bhora not helping themselves with the mistakes that they've been making.
Well, remember, they are missing some of the star players. 5 changes that have been made, and the top goal scorer Masina out due to suspension. So that will cost them heavily in terms of going towards goal.
Yeah, they'll definitely will be looking at the likes of Sabora to be the impact players this afternoon. They haven't been able to get much of the possession, but they have also been at least playing positively, not just sitting back and allowing Hardrock to come on them.
So now Mdadi, so many purple shirts ahead of him, decides to play it in at least with Lamini. Masiba Mambari. And the second yellow card of the game going to Simba Bhora as well. Chaona Chapunza being the latest recipient of that yellow card.
Yeah, 2 yellow cards in a very short space of time. I think it's not going to help Simba Bhora. Probably a little bit unlucky day with the yellow card, I think. And I think the referee has taken a much more firm stance now in terms of those fouls.
Started the game quite lenient, Kwamele Manenda. And it seems his mood towards issuing out yellow cards has just changed in this last 5 minutes or so of the first 45 minutes. Tafa clearing it away. Recollected by Mishek Wenya. And he'll play it back to his goalkeeper. Now Shelton Sbanda. Masiba Mambari. Not the perfect pass from this seasoned veteran, as he was just looking for the run of probably Washington Avaya into the box. Oh, good feet and good technique. Sambulo Simelane. Exciting piece of skill. He was just looking for an opportunity. And now Donald Mdadi. Another one that goes way above the crossbar, the bucket seats, and the roof of the stadium.
Yeah, good play from Simelani. Changing flanks. He was on the right flank, now going to the left flank there. And a wonderful run forward. I think in that final stage, the decision making wasn't on point for Hardrock. I think they should have played it on the overlap to the right flank where the likes of Navaya were waiting for it.
Now you can see that he was clearly waiting for an opportunity, for a window of opportunity to just kill one into top bins. But I think the moment he started waiting, the more the angle started becoming too narrow for him to shoot.
And that one definitely one for the Beds. But good play all along from Hardrock. I think they've been on top of their game, scoring that first goal, trying to get a second. And they will probably be the happiest of the two teams going into the break.
Carlos Mkumbira, not so many options available to him. That has been the problem with Simba Bhora so far. Now Madadi. Well played to Murikai, who's at the Kasongo end. Neliswa Flamini. Two men in the box for Hardrock. Navaya, chest control. He can go for the second. And yes, he does. The big striker. Back in his home stadium. And now he has found the back of the net 2 times. And 2 for Hardrock. It all starts from a beautiful piece of play from Neliswa Flamini. And a wonderful chest control.
Hardrock fans putting on their dancing shoes. And why not? What a return from Navaya into the team. And it all starts from here. Tendai cross into the box. Look at the composure. Chest control with the 2 players marking him. And he just slots it home on the ground. Deceiving the goalkeeper, who would have thought that he was going to blast it. But cleanly striking it on the ground into the back of the net, and it's 2-0 for Hardrock. What a goal, what a display of good football, attacking football. And all the credit goes to Navaya for the composure that he showed in that box to give his team the second goal after scoring the first himself as well. What a goal, wonderful football all along from Hardrock.
8 goals he has scored so far this season. Only one behind the Enento's man, Ralph Kaundera. Now Simelani trying to cut inside. No let run from the number 10 for Hardrock. They could have been going for the 3rd. But they will not stop any moment now. Still going forward. Another cross into the box. Washington Navaya lacking from behind. Oh, trying to play a depth touch. And there was a foul. And now playing with a lot of confidence, playing with a lot of panache, Washington Navaya.
I'm still surprised why Simba Bhora were not marking him in the box, not being able to have the situational awareness the way Navaya is, when he's probably the best player so far, the most dangerous player so far for Hardrock, and he could have gotten a chance to score the 3rd day. And Simba Bhora defense in 6s and 7s, conceding another one just before the break.
So 2 minutes has been confirmed as the time that is going to be added in this half. Menashe Bamara. The finding Modadi, who then concedes possession. Now Carlos Mkumbira, 3 defenders ahead of him, and he's been brought down, forcing the match official to blow his whistle in those last stages. And he gets a yellow card. For that foul, they just stopped Carlos Mkumbira on his tracks. We're almost thinking that it's Misha Ngwenya who has received the latest yellow card. And probably after a very long time, the goalkeeper who's going to be given something to work on, Tonderai Mateaunga. And the confirmation, it's Marshall Galasa who got that yellow card. So Ishmael Nyani with the deadbolt duty. So waiting patiently. Ishmael Nyani will go direct. and doesn't beat the second man. Replayed by moving to the box. And good hands from the goalkeeper. And with that, it's confirmation of the first half that has come to an end, with Washington Eye being the man who has met the headlines in the first 45, scoring a brace. 2-0 it is, and Simba Bhora have been trailing. Not a perfect way to start the season and almost get to the after point of the season. A good opening from Kevin Kayendu. Last game they played, it was a stalemate. And now that they have their star player back from the Unity Cup, he has come back with a brace. And they'll be going into the halftime break with a lot of confidence. But we are going to be switching over to the pitch where there's Valentine Mabugu and Max Mandizidza for halftime analysis.
Indeed, what a match, what an encounter. And of course, for us neutrals, just enjoying this beautiful game. And of course, Simba Bhora found themselves trailing by 2-0. It is the return of the Navigator to punish that is the Chinucheru this afternoon and give a 2-0 score, student scoreline lead here for that is Hardrock FC, White Home at Chawanda Stadium. My name is Valentine Mabugu, still with that is Max Mandishiza. Max, what a game and what a match. Mistakes punished and of course brilliance from the Navigator.
Yeah, 45 minutes to forget for Simba Bhora, especially with those mistakes you were just mentioning. First two mistakes, they didn't get punished. The third one, they were punished by the Navigator. With the cool and composure, to score that first goal. And almost similar as well to the second one. I think he has been brilliant in his return to the team as well. But it has been the supporting play coming in. Also, this right flank with the likes of Similani. We also switched on to the left flank, creating those chances for Hardrock as well. But it's on Simba Bhora to pick up their game going into the second. But I believe if they don't do that, they're probably going to be conceding more, as we are judging from what we have seen in the first 5 minutes going into the break.
Indeed, let's talk about Simba Bhora themselves. We saw them make a few mistakes, but we have to also highlight that they also had chances. They were creating, but it is the final third really that is missing for them. The link between that is the midfield as well as the strike force. For me, that's where I feel they've been. For you, what's your take in terms of before the mistakes? Really,
yeah,
they had the game in control.
Yeah, definitely a very good start for them. I was thinking of how they approached the game, knowing that probably Hardrock was going to have most of the possession, but they played so well. As we are just looking at some of those highlights in the game as well, I think they had a decent approach and not being able to overlap as much as they would have wanted. Tabora also getting a shot on target sometimes, not being able to convert those ones, but they've created those chances as you are saying. But the mistakes then were actually the point where the game got away from them.
And there's a bit of grittiness about Simba Bhora, but sometimes those mistakes, I guess that's what they're being punished for. If you look at the highlights as well, even the goalkeeper not too impressed with his defense, his organization, and it was said that it was the captain that did make a horrendous mistake that they got punished for. That is Webster Tafa looking there for a nutmeg, but not really completing it, as we saw that chance as well from that is Simba Bhora that was tipped over by the goalkeeper over the crossbar.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was the shot from Tabora, and the goalkeeper being able to put some fingertips on it to consider corner. And that was the first stages of the game. I think later on they actually went on to keep on playing for the back, which was not working for them. And that is where many of those mistakes emulated from. But initially they were playing so well. And I would have thought, well, they probably could have scored first themselves because of the approach that they had, even though Hardrock were quite pressing and we had much of the possession. So it's quite unfortunate, mistakes do happen in football. They're going to happen to the best of our players. I think that's probably would be the first goal that was scored by Navaya. Quite composed, just to chip it over the goalkeeper, who had actually came off his line when he saw that mistake and he was trying to save the goal. But Navaya said, well, thank you so much, and slotted that into the back of the net.
Indeed, we have to give it also to the passer from that is Donald Mudari, the vision to see, the space after that failed nutmeg by that is Webster Tafa, the captain for that is Simba Bhora there, and you look at that and the pass that he found to find the Navigator, as we see now the second goal.
Yeah, definitely. I think the League Cup play has been the difference, and there have been different suppliers, especially going forward. He has been spoiled of chances, that is Navaya, and this time around with the composure, chase control. Even though he had two players marking him, he was able to just slot it under the goalkeeper, who probably thought he was going to be looking to blast it into the back of the net, but he just slotted under the goalkeeper, who again was off his line trying to save the chance. But Navaya got the better of him. I think the link-up play between Mudadi and the front and Simelani as well, the combinations, we've also seen Simelani changing flanks, coming from the right, going to the left, and he went on that daisy run, which could have given them the third goal. I think that has been wonderful to see. I was just looking at Kelvin Kayindu, smiling on the touchline, enjoying what he was saying, and also the Hardrock fans. I think they have been having a good time. Their team has been playing way good football this afternoon.
Let's talk about that is Massimo Mambare, the elder statesman in the squad, amongst the two teams. His impact as well, being shifted from the left side to the right side with Simelani, and the influence that he finally had. He was now finding most of the ball, and the combination with Mudadi was now clicking.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that has been, he has been used quite wisely, and in terms of his roles in the game. And that experience just shows as well. He could have, he took some shots at goal, probably missing as well, but you could see the ideas coming through. So I think it's just the mixture and the way that Kelvin Kayindu has been able to apply the players that he has. And we were talking about whether Mambare would be playing the full 90. Probably not, but he has been making the impact of the game in that time as well. So quite exciting to see if there will be any shifts going into the second half. But for now, I think Kayindu would keep it as it is.
Let's look forward now to the second half of this encounter. Mazda Mpofu is already under a lot of pressure, 2 goals down, and what does he need to do? What will be the first 15 minutes for him? What he will require from his players? And we've seen from an analysis point of view, it is the link-up play that is missing. For me, I don't think that Blessing Derek can play a false 9 kind of role for me. I think he needs to be in the middle of the park as well, but be a box-to-box kind of player than your false 9 up front.
Yeah, that has not been working. You were talking about what he's probably going to be telling them in the dressing room, probably first of all to stop those mistakes and make sure that they are a little bit much more accurate with their passing. I think they have not played terribly wrong or terribly bad, but they have just not been able to combine themselves. That link-up play is not there between the likes of Dereki and Sabora. It looks like Hardrock have total control of the midfield. So I think there should be a shift in terms of their approach going forward as well, and probably push Dereki a little bit back into the midfield, and probably look at the bench and look for someone to come in through as well and change their approach, because right now I think they've been outplayed by by Hardrock rather on all angles.
Indeed, we're seeing the area view of the stadium here, quite immaculate space as well, and there's still, a graph of this immaculate stadium, beautiful, one of the, it is the best in the country really, and you look at that aerial view, the car park as well, the organization, and everything under control here. Now let's look at what Kevin Kayindu needs to do now to consolidate his lead. As we look at those stats as well on the screen, you've seen the dominance of that is Hardrock in this case, and of course the attempts at goal and those on target as well. Now what does he need to do? Because sometimes they say a 2-0 lead is quite dangerous, particularly with 45 minutes still to play. You can let it slip. Either you end a draw or you end up losing it.
And we've seen it happening exactly like that, Valentine. It's never a safe scoreline, especially if Simba Bhora are able to get early that first goal. It changes the whole aspect of the game. But I think going into the second half, it's all about control now, managing the game. They still have, the likes of Junior Makuni came on the bench. They still have, some stars in the game as far as we are concerned as now as well. Navaya could have scored a third. You can also look for that third goal going into the second half. I think they will be looking for a goal before they try to defend the 2 goals that they have. I think they've been playing quite positively, and I think for Kayindu, just keep it as it is and make sure that you manage it as we go towards the last 10 minutes, last 20 minutes of game, bring in some more substitutions and see the game through.
So basically it's about for Hardrock keeping the concentration levels right and to make sure that you don't let it slip. So far you can't change a winning team. You can't make too many changes to disrupt the compactness of the team as well. And for Simba Bhora, they must be desperate now to make changes. They should bring changes. We expect them to make changes coming into the second half. As we've seen, even the substitutes, all of them have gone to the dressing room, which means that maybe they're not going to make those changes soon after the restart of the second half. But maybe you would just want to wait maybe 5-10 minutes. But I would have thought you would have seen what was wrong with the side. get the substitutes to just warm up. When they come back, they're just getting in, because you should have been giving them instructions, especially after those mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. Look, you look at their last 5 games, I think they've only won a single game, and also they had a draw in the previous game. I think it's also about it's a mentality issue for them. I was looking at the players on the pitch, they were playing the game, but you could see that some of them didn't believe that they were showing up to compete, and that led to some of those mistakes. And unfortunately for them, Hardrock were able to take advantage of that. So going into the second half, of course, Mpofu will be looking for the changes, but probably not too early as we get back into the second half. Just try to see if anything happens in the first 10 minutes, and then after that, you're probably going to be looking at your bench to ring in some changes.
So there you have it. We are almost ready for the action right here. That is at Chawanda Stadium. It is, of course, that is the home side Hardrock that currently lead by, that is 2 goals to nil, courtesy of a brace from Washington Navaya, the navigator, back in the side and back with a big bang. Let's take it back to our match commentator as we prepare for the second half. That is Tendai Shibanda, who will be taking you through, that is the second half of this encounter, together with Max Mandushiza right here on ZBC TV.
So welcome back to the second half here at Chawanda Stadium, a continuation of match day 16 here at a game that's being played in the heart of Kwekwe. The home team leading by 2 goals to nil, courtesy of Washington Navaya Press, and they have left the visiting team Simba Bhora dejected, looking for solutions. We're closing to the end of the first half. Now that the players are slowly coming back to the pitch, it's all about how they will respond. It's all about how they will deploy and employ the tactics that have been set by their manager. Still a lot to work on, but also for Kevin Kayindu and his troops, they'll be looking forward to add more from the 2 they scored in the first half. A beautiful game of football, a fantastic atmosphere. The ambience, of course, is allowing this game to play out. So before we get to the second 45, confirmation of scores from the games that have been played or being played also. Manica Diamonds 1 and Dynamo Snell Caps United 1 is at Kariba trailing by a goal. Triangle and FC Platinum, no goals have been scored in that one as of yet. So now a substitution for Hardrock being initiated by Kevin Kayindu. Masimba Mambari has played his first 45 minutes and will not continue in the second 45. And for him, is going to be replaced by Las Nyilenda. Obviously a lot to work on for the visiting team. It hasn't been an easy start to the season, but now that they are trailing by 2 goals to nil, and it seems the tactic being played by Hardrock is to look for the target man. What do you think they will change coming into the second half?
Yeah, definitely a difficult one in the first half for Simba Bhora. I think they just have to make sure that they cancel out those mistakes, refocus on the game. They haven't played badly as such. I think it's just been a lapse in concentration that's led to them conceding those 2 goals, especially picking out Navaya in the box, making sure that they keep an eye on him. And for Hardrock, it's probably just more of the same. I think they played so well. But as they always say, 2-0 is always a very dangerous scoreline. You always want to add the third and make sure you see the game out.
Of course, now we are in the last 45 minutes. Simba Bhora playing it to the far side. They haven't made any changes coming into the second half. Tinatenda Muringai clears that out of play. So now they are going forward, or playing through to Ronaldo Mdadi. Year delay. And now he's around of Nyilenda on the edge of the box, and Nyilenda skyrockets that short. And Hardrock trying to start off from where they left from in the first half with a quick counter charge. Now being stopped in his tracks. The goal scorer, Washington of Iron. Nube. Now playing from the back. Keeping the ball in play. Hardrock being given a chance to restart their play. Nube. Finding Nube again, turning quite well. Chapunza. Now the pressure is slowly coming to them. Have to be wary of that high press that is now being initiated by Hardrock. Crossfield pass. But Chinatenda Maringa is up to the task. Simelani. Flamini. Now Flamini not losing his footing. And plays it to Washington Navaye. Maringai. Now charging forward. Now the best pass coming in from the left back. It was quite visible in the first half. Chinatenda Maringai.
Yeah, probably one of the best players for Hardrock in the first half. Continuing from where he left from, with the overlap running as well. Simelani, one of also some of the best players with them. Navaya, I think he's just been getting so much space and so much time. Simba Bhora not learning from their lessons.
Mamara concentrating possession and standing up real quickly to regain possession. He'll probably give himself a pat on the back for that. Modadi. Now Simba Bhora starting to get forward. Nandereki. Now Tevin Nawasib has been given that foul before the ball was being played to Ndereki. So a chance to make use of the dead ball here. Simba Bhora is just looking for the lifeline. Probably if they get this one, they might start believing that the game is still open and they might find a chance to salvage. That is if, of course, they find a little bit of fortune from the set piece.
Yeah, difficult for them. You want to get back into the game early into the second half if you are to stand a chance of at least getting a draw from this game.
Now from the captain, and not the perfect execution.
Yeah, definitely know the way to do it, and you don't want to be wasting this half opportunities, especially when it has been difficult already for you. And, unfortunately for the captain, that one just goes wayward.
Modadi and the middle of the park was trying to find Simelani on the far side, but it was an overcooked pass, lacking in any directional sense. It hasn't been easy for Simba Bhora to get into the final third. Sabora. Now Sabora still going forward, and he does go down easily. Now maybe with Sabora, the relief is that they still have the ball. And a free kick at the Kasongo end for the visiting team.
Yeah, a little bit better for Simba Bhora. Pushing men forward, trying to create something from nothing here. And Hardrock won't mind at least just to defend this. Difficult times here for Simba Bhora.
Simba Bhora with the point to the box. You would think Tafao is going to convert that one. And now Asib as well.
Yeah, good chance for them. A good ball into the box. And I think there must be a little collision before that rebound. And probably just couldn't keep it under the bar. But good pressure, good play, positive from Simba Bhora, trying to lift their game. And at least get back one goal. I know they know exactly that if they do that, they'll be back in the game.
Fierce battle. Dr. Mudadi eventually wins, and he's been blocked for the foul. Two Simba Bhora players down on the ground, and Mudadi definitely thought he was well on course to initiate a counter charge.
Yeah, Mudadi and the fans thinking that was a soft one from the referee. But Simba Bhora now enjoying a little bit more position, something that we didn't see as much in the first half. A good start to the second for Simba Bhora.
Ishmael Nyani. Move it. Down to Ishmael Nyani. Nyani going on his pace. And would probably like to deliver one, but he turns and looks for options behind. Too casual from Simba Bhora. Now Donald Mudadi as Navai and Simelani on the left side. Is he going to pick him up? A pass that goes behind, but Simelani will unleash one from a distance, but deflected.
Poor pass from Mudadi there. I think he was just slow to lift his head up because Simelani was in acres of space, and unfortunately the pass going almost behind him, slowing his run. I think he would have loved it a little bit much more in front of him, and he definitely could have had a chance at goal on the break here. And that shot leading to a corner kick. And Hardrock on the counter-attack, looking very dangerous now.
Good post break from Hardrock as they were trying to add the third one. And probably a poor pass that just went behind Simelani from Donald Mudadi. Now they do have a corner kick at the Kasongo end. Delivery to the box, parried away. No one to come and pick the second part of the cherry. Now Sibanda to Mudadi. Moringai, the left back with a shot, but too easy for the goalkeeper probably. And they now have a corner kick. I believe the ball was still in play, but he has to watch out the goalkeeper for the way he then talks to the far side assistant. And for Dissent, he gets a yellow card.
Yeah. Something in that shot, the goalkeeper fumbled it first time, and he's arguing that he kept it in, still in touch, but the linesman on the far side felt that it had gone out of play, and that's why he got a yellow card for his reaction. You should never react like that, especially to the match official.
Now stolen by Simba Bhora from tip within their own half. Now they do have a break on their hands as well. A play through, now they have a chance to play it directly in the box. But so many green and white shirts in the defending box as well. Now we take a shot from distance, and it goes out of play.
Yeah, unfortunately the finish is quite poor. But we just look at that incident again. That shot, quite venomous there. And the goalkeeper couldn't collect it first time. And I think he had actually gone out, and the goalkeeper was arguing that it kept it in.
Now Flamini finds Nyilenda. Simelani, first time, and just above the crossbar. Well, he's now starting to strap his shooting boots on, and he believes maybe it's only a matter of time until he finds the back of the net.
Yeah, Simelani, probably one of their best players this afternoon. He just failed to find the dip in time, but a very good shot. First time shot. I think Hardrock now playing in the same way they finished the first half now. After Simba Bhora, we're getting some of the ball in the beginning of this first half, of the second half rather. They look very dangerous on the counter, Hardrock. I think Simba Bhora have to be wary, because if Hardrock had to score the third, I think the game will probably be done and dusted.
a stoppage in play. And there's a number of fans also trying to decode what's happening on the field of play in their own regards. You always know that from every part of the pitch there's always someone with a different view to the next one.
Yeah, I think there was a collision there between Similani and it looks like he's up and about, ready to continue the game. That'll be Chichona Chipunza.
Simbara Chinyai with the restart for Simba Bhora is there going forward. Similani. He's been enjoying his football. It's been a good day in office. Similani with a cross into the box. Nawaya was just lurking behind on the back post, trying to attack it. He was just hoping that the ball dips for him. It would have been good for him to get a hat-trick on his return to club football straight from international duty. So that was a yellow card. Ordish Mawinyani was just fouled closer to the byline where the far side assistant is. No, Normal Sabora. Now I see it. Losing possession. Sabora again. Dereki. Big mark by Manashe Bamara. Now Mudadi is trying to play through to Washington Navaya. And maybe the problem was Navaya was facing his own goal instead of going forward.
Yeah, he could have just delayed the pass a little bit there, Mudadi, to allow Navaya to come into space. And also just put a little bit too much in that. But just before that, you were talking about that chance, Navaya. We're talking about how Simba Bhora and not picking up his position, not being able to be aware where he is. He's got a dangerous and very intelligent striker. The way he just positions himself in the box, we never see him coming into the defenders themselves. He never crowds himself with the defenders, probably going to the far post when the corner kick is being taken. That's why he finds himself alone most of the time. And Simba Bhora have not been doing a good job to make sure that they keep tabs on him.
Manashe Bamada, the metronome for Hardrock, the man who orchestrates everything in regards to the tempo, the rhythm in the midfield. Looks like he went down in some sort of pain, and you try to shake it off, of course. And he's one player that Hardrock wouldn't want to lose at this point of the season, at this point of the game. It's never good for any team to lose their best players.
Yeah, definitely put a shift already in this game. Quite intelligent also in terms of his passing, and as you were saying, controlling the tempo of the game, being that mastermind, allowing the likes of Navaya to flourish.
Now Madadi decided to play it back. Bamara back on the pitch. Moringai and Carlos Mafurome will be getting the latest yellow card. Kwanele Manenda no longer taking any prisoners now with the way he's issuing yellow cards. Intentional or not, he's now flagging fouls that he deems reckless or too intentional.
Yeah, the yellows have been coming fast now, especially, well, a well-deserved one here for him. He knew that he was beaten and he went in, sliding in recklessly, and then unfortunately you leave the referee with no choice but to give you the yellow. And Simba Bhora have to be very careful now. Probably 3 players already on a yellow. You don't want to lose a player, especially when you're already 2 goals down and you're trying to get back in the game.
Remember, in the first half we were about to talk about the fortunes for Simba Bhora. 5 wins so far in the 15 games that they've played, and 16 including this one. And of the 5 wins, 3 have been away. And probably coming into this game, they thought they were going to be continuing on that fine away form. if you're not paying attention to the 450 Orientals. Well, not handling it first time. Now Flamini taking it. Another best cross into the box. Any nightmare for the goalkeeper not to handle the ball first time.
Yeah, another fumble from Simba Chinani. You know, he was arguing when he got a yellow that he kept that one in, but the second time also not being able to keep it stuck to the gloves. There could have been a chance there for Hardrock, but fortunately for him, his defenders were able to cover up for him.
Hardrock defending well within their rights. Move going forward now. Carlos Mkumbira running out of options, but good turning. Still in possession of the ball. Nyilenda takes it away from him. Where's the support when you need it? Regaining possession, but the moment they get it, they lose it. Both teams losing possession recklessly. Summary of how bad it has been for the visiting team this afternoon. Now substitution as Mandinyenya Tapio Mandinyenya will be coming on for Carlos Mkumbira, who was decent in his 63 minutes that he was given to play. So Mandinyenya, does he have the right tools and resources to turn the tides of this game, maybe tipping it in Simba Bhora's favor? Madadi. Checking their time, the centre backs, because they're not rushing any play. On to Mishikbenya. Hardrock knocking it, looking for that decisive pass as they're going forward. Now, Tapio Mandinyenya, first touch of the ball, and he concedes possession. Moringai, who has been good defensively. So 64 minutes have been played here at Chawanda Stadium. If it ends like this, Hardrock would have won the 9th game of the season. And there will be joint talk with Scotland on the top of the table. Both teams would have 31 points and will be separated by goal difference.
Yeah, they've been very good so far. And now on top of the log table, it's a matter of exchanging positions in each match day. But they also do have an inconcluded game, just waiting to see what the judgment will be from the PSL. I think that will definitely give them an outlook of where exactly they are standing as they are going for the championship.
Now I see being played through, but the defenders were way away of that ball that was just being ticked over.
We're also talking today about why the Castle Lager Premiership is probably sometimes a little bit too late to give the decisions to those games. I think it could have been quite better for the clubs to know exactly what the judgment will be after the investigations.
Well, they do take their time, the Castle Lager Premier League, the disciplinary committee, but we believe that any decision that will come will be for the betterment of the league and of the two teams. Now a double substitution coming in from Hardrock. Sambulo Simelani, who has been quite impressive, will leave the field of play.
He's probably one of their best players this afternoon. What a shift from Simelani on both flanks as well, overlapping, probably covering the most distance of all the players this afternoon.
And he's been replaced by another Mercurio player, Tinashe Mashaireni, and also Shelter Spanda has left the field of play.
I'm very impressed by Simelani this afternoon. Very good shift from him. Just the relentless hard working, especially on the flanks, beating his markers, supplying the crosses and the passes as well. Brilliant player, and what a game he has had this afternoon.
Samuel Makau, with his first touch of the ball, he gets a foul, and has been fouled closer to the byline where the home fans are. Not the best way to be introduced into a game that your team is leading. And there's immediate attention that is needed on Makau. Two players for Hardrock went down to the ground simultaneously. But also looks like before Simba Bhora has also gone to the ground in need of medical attention.
Yeah, as we're just pushing towards the last 20 minutes of the game, I think for Hardrock it's all about game management as well. We see Kelvin Kaendo making those two changes, giving a rest to the likes of Simelani, making sure that they now approach the last minutes with a little bit of a view of how they want the game to conclude. As you were just saying, that foul, and Simba Bhora will be looking at the watch as well, thinking, well, just some of the fouls that we've seen. There's been a well-fought battle between the two, and Hardrock look like they've been winning it so far. Strong challenges. I think that's why the referee, he has been making sure that he has that yellow in his hand. Crunching tackle, some of them ridiculous to say the least, and you're never going to get away with that tonight.
Well, the man in your picture, Washington Avaya, the scorer of the two goals that Hardrock had now currently, and scores from Ausway. Manica Diamond still leading by a goal to nil against Dynamos. Caps United with now 2 goals. ZPC responding with 1. 2-1 it is at Rufaro Stadium. And FC Platinum have finally found the back of the net against Triangle. 1-0.
Yeah, it's shaping to be a very exciting second half of the season against the Platinum as well. Looking for it. We also saw Scotland yesterday. Brilliant win for them. Hardrock as well in the title charge. I think it's up to teams like Simba Bhora and also the likes of Islanders to make sure that they catch up with those ones which are leading the pack, because it's not going to be very easy to compete for the championship this time around.
Toraj Mdadi finding Elise with Lamini. On comes the counter charge. Not the best through pass to find Yolanda. Now Simba Bhora have a chance to regroup and recollect. Playing a crossfield pass to Tabora. Dereki. A loose pass again from deep from Simba Bhora. Now Donald Mdadi. Bamara. The chemistry and understanding between this Hardrock midfield, quite impressive. Oh, almost making a mistake with that big pass. And Tolere Mateonga has gone down injured. Because he was trying to clear the ball, there was a clash between him and the forward.
Yeah, quite unfortunate. The goalkeeper taking one for the team. They, after a mistake at the back, It could have been an easy goal to concede for Hardrock, who have been brilliant so far. I think the goalkeeper injured himself here. He got to the ball first, and I think it was just him sliding through to the defender, and that's when he was injured. He really wants to keep his clean sheet, doesn't he?
So a stoppage in play as Mateo Onga is receiving medical attention. And also marks as a reminder to the football family in Zimbabwe and across the world that ZBC is going to be airing live the World Cup starting on the 11th of June. And these are some of the things that the people are going to be on the lookout, a change in rules and laws from the match officials in regards to time wasting, if there is going to be any time wasting, especially from the goalkeepers.
Yeah, definitely a raft of changes coming in from FIFA. As we were just seeing those goals from Navaya, a brilliant take that time around. Just putting it over the goalkeeper for his first goal. And this was coming also from a little bit of mistake from Simba Bhora. Chinani wasn't happy about what he was saying that time around. But 10 African teams this time around gives us a chance to at least again get another one in the semi-finals today.
Also, please be on the lookout for the World Cup games being brought to you live on ZPC, starting on the 11th of June. Out back on the matters here at Chawanda Stadium, Navaya. Modadi going forward. Now Modadi being played through. Here's Mashaire. Anybody decides to turn, taking time and shoots it straight into traffic. Modadi a little bit selfish or maybe casual with that shot, whilst Mashaireni was open, probably crying for that pass.
Yeah, taking too much time on the ball, Modadi. I think was caught up in 2 months, probably 3 months, to say the least. And when he decided to take that shot, it was already too late with the defense covering up. Mashaireni won't be happy about that. He was in some space, and he probably could have had a better angle to get a strike on goal.
One opportunity that goes backing for Hardrock as they are looking for their third. Now Modadi again, looking for where he can play that pass. Could not send it forward since a lot of his teammates were still behind the halfway line. It just shows you how good a unit this Hardrock side is. When they go forward, they have a lot of borders forward. And when they defend, they also send a lot of borders back. Leliso Lamini with that interception. Playing Mashaireni on the left side. Mashaireni to Modadi. And there's a stoppage in play, a foul, I believe. Oh no, the ball. Well, it would be a drop ball since there was an interception from the match official.
Yeah, it wasn't impactful in terms of the direction of the ball, but with the new FIFA rules, the referee is obliged to stop play for any touch from him, and that's why he's restarting the play here.
Modadi taking it over to Bamara. Now Bamara with the left cross into the box. Now I was just waiting for it. Another attempt. And he does find the back of the net. The newly introduced substitute, Samuel Makawa. And you can see the embraces receiving from his teammates. When he thought he was down and out after that injury, picked himself up, and with a fantastic strike, he has found the back of the net. 3 goals with no response for Hardrock.
Yeah, a good strike from range. I think there was a deflection before it went into the back of the net. Well measured. And with that deflection from a Simba Bhora player, it went straight into the goal to give them that goal. just about to look at it again on replay here. Yeah, it's a deflection from Chazia Lawrence. And I think it will be his goal because he took it straight and it was going on target. And I think that's the game for Hardrock on the third goal coming through. We're talking about how Simba Bhora has to find the first goal in the second half. And unfortunately, it's Makawa who gives Hardrock the third.
With that third goal for Hardrock, the stadium does erupt in joy and song. Now the belief that they might be on top of the table after matchday 16 is starting to settle. After playing to a draw, they are going to be happy now that maybe they're going to be getting a win. 77 minutes have gone by and they're leading by 3 goals to good. But will Simba Bhora find a response in this last 18 minutes of this exciting game at Chawanda Stadium? Now Ashib. Tafa to Tabora. Back to the centre back. And there's movement on the byline for Hardrock. Is about to make another double substitution. Dereki. Tabora to Nube.
Yeah, there's not been a good showing, especially for Simba Bhora. Mangampof won't be happy with what he has seen so far. I think it's been total control from Hardrock, now making those substitutions again.
While the leading team is making substitutions, it's going to be Donald Mdadi and Washington Avaya to leave the field of play. So Kalani Ndlovu will be coming on for Donald Mdadi, who was quite phenomenal in midfield. Could have found a goal to himself, for himself and probably an assist.
Yeah, definitely Mdadi and Navaya control this game for Hardrock. And what a game from Navaya, coming back to score a brace. Yeah, he's been the best player so far for Hardrock. As we've seen some of his goals there, I think it was brilliant. On his return straight back into the team, and this was probably the best of the lot after he received this cross here from the left flank. Such composure in the box, Tendai, to control it and just to slot it under the goalkeeper to score his second goal. Brilliant from Navaya.
You definitely think that he's an emotionless man, doesn't give too much whether he's happy or not, with only one mind to give his team the maximum 3 points. A good outing for Washington Avaya. Almost 10 minutes left of normal regulation time, getting closer to the end of what has been an exciting game here at Chawanda Stadium. Saving a corner. Taking their time, Mashaireni.
Yeah, it's all about control now for Hardrock. I think it's going to be quite difficult for Simba Bhora to get anything from this game now on, because they've never showed, they really didn't show up in the last 30 minutes of the game. We thought they started well in the second half today, but it was all washed away, and they stuck back to, their very slow game as well. And for Hardrock, they took advantage of that, being able to sit back and hit them on the counter. They could have scored 4 or 5 goals this afternoon.
So match day 16, Dynamos have equalized against Manika Diamonds 1-1. Caps United and ZPC Kariba, another stalemate as well, 2-2. Now the 2 substitutes almost lining up to find a 4th one, but not the best pass from Nyelenda, as there are 2 options, 2 men on either flank.
Now the fans were screaming for a 4th here. And now Probably 3 changes, probably too late now for Simba Bhora. Probably just want to control the damage and manage it. Well, I don't think they've showed up to this game well enough to contest with Hardrock, who have been brilliant. Simba Bhora, a lot of introspection and hard work to do for the coach Magda Pofo after this game to try and improve their form. Only a single win in the last 5 games is not a very good look for a team that is almost sitting now on in the middle of the Kasolaga Premiership log table.
So Takunda Nyameto will replace Wotuleswe Nwe. And also on comes Ephraim Kweperere. And Tavonga Kulea will be the latest introduction, as Ndereki will leave the field of play.
Yeah, if you were the 3 substitutions, you'll be thinking, well, coach, you should have given us more time. Now they have almost less than 8 minutes to make an impact. And it will be almost a miracle if they will be able to get those 3 goals and get a point from this game.
Trying to get a feel off the ball just after being introduced, Ephraim Kweperere, but it's been fouled in the process. And Tapio Mandinyenya would want to get a feel off the ball, strike it towards the goalkeeper probably. But he has Chawana Chupunza, who's also waiting with him. So how will they go about this one? And not the best effort from Mandinyenya. No thought behind that strike as he was aiming for goal.
Well, that just sums up Simba Bhora's performance this afternoon tonight. Mandinyenya, the substitute, taking charge of that free kick and quite aimlessly just putting it over. And just tells you a story of how the game has gone for them this afternoon. Now we're going back towards the night, having a few things to think of.
Makawa trying to call for the second one. He was caught in so many thoughts. Should I pass it to the right? Should I go for my second? And in turn, he ended up delaying and he was marked in the process. Now Kulea. He does keep it in play, but the defense is heavy on him. Good shooting off the ball. Simba Bhora. And the ball is stolen from them. Now Hardrock can now go the counter charge. Kolani was just waiting for the ball to be played to him. As he was bending his run just along the defender's shoulders.
Yeah, very good run from the back, I believe, from last Nyilenda. Going all the way and being fouled in the process. He won it back right there and he waited for this mazy run. And I think he had to check on the team and try to stop him. And they've been brilliant this afternoon at Rock. And their fans now just waiting for the final whistle. Still some minutes to go as well, but they would believe that the 3 points are in the bag.
Far up along the center line. The boy in Simba Bhora's possession. 5 minutes left to play of normal time. Of course, some added minutes. But the home team is so much comfortable. It could be 3 goals and 3 points. Playing way up higher now, Simba Bhora. Losing his footing in the process, and Simba Bhora have been awarded a free kick, much to the dismay of the Hardrock fans. Now Sabora, this time crossed into the box. Now trying to play through. Chapunza, big men marked here, 2 men just shielding the ball away from him. Ephraim Kweperere doing so much well on the edge of the box to bring the ball down. But Hardrock do not want to concede, especially in this last minutes. And after this, maybe they'll be tied with Scotland in the most clean sheets so far under match day 16.
Yep, and the goalkeeper will be quite keen to keep it like this. Tonderai Mateaonga, I think he's had a good game, and he's not going to allow Simba Bhora to spoil his fun with a goal for them, probably a consolation.
Now Hardrock trying to play quick, enterprising plays. But Dolani Glover just lost the ball in the process. Now Makawa has no idea whatsoever with where the ball that had gone. Oh, now Dolani Glover has a chance to add to the 3 that they already have. Still 3-0. And he's a man who wants to get the ball into the back of the net, Lovu.
Yeah, I mean, he already 3 goals up, and it's in the 87th minute.
Back part of Wilfred Manzungu, who was playing in the Central Region last season. A fantastic player. And it's the quality that they do have, Hardrock, that after Washington Navaya leaves the field of play, you also know that another important talisman will come into the fray, Wilfred Manzungu. No wonder Hardrock have him on his books, on their books rather. Now Mringai.
Yeah, I was just about to say tonight, he's way justified to take a shot from there, trying to hit the 4th. I mean, probably just 3 minutes remaining, and also probably the referee's additional time. Why not take a shot from there?
We thought maybe the advantage was going to be played for him, Wilfred Manzungu. Naliswa Dlamini was brought down, missed close to the center circle. And now Chakuchichi is about to be introduced in this last 2 minutes of normal regulation time.
Yeah, it looks like it's some pain, Dlamini. I think there was a head injury on that jump. Yeah, definitely a knock on the back of his head. Always not so good, those ones. And that's why the medical team has to rush in. And hopefully he's going to be okay. It looks like he felt it. Still holding his head, rather, as the medical team tried to attend to him. Also one of the best players so far for them. I think I would believe there's a Simba Bhora fans today was still enjoying themselves despite being 3 goals down. On the other hand, Hardrock fans as well, they do also wear the green and white Simba Bhora. But Dlamini doesn't look like he's in a very good state now with the mobile ambulance coming in.
Naliswa Dlamini, who has been impressive, will be stretched off the field of play. Barely put a foot wrong. There's 88 minutes that he has managed to play, and we definitely hope that he's going to be okay. He was holding the back of his head, and it seemed like it stung him quite hard. And no wonder the mobile ambulance, as you've called it, is there to pick him up and stretch him off the field of play.
Yep, I think they call it the mobile stretcher, rather. Good to see such kinds of services available at Chawanda Stadium. Now with the 5 minutes being added, I think Hardrock would think that they've been able to get the 3 points this afternoon. Miracles do happen in football tonight. Do you think there could be one this afternoon?
Wow, it was the last 5 minutes. Difficult to call it. Taking their time to clear it away. And a loose pass that has well been recollected by Simba Bhora going forward. And a good tackle from Wilfred Manzungu. The striker turning on his defensive boots with a clean tackle. So many times you know that strikers are not really gifted with their tackling abilities, and good to see one executing his duties quite well. Simba Bhora now playing further forward, deploying a high line. Chipunza down to Mafurume. Sabora. Chipunza again, being allowed to roam freely in that middle off the ground. Manika Diamonds have conceded another one. 2-1 Dynamos, Caps United and ZPC Kariba still 2-2. And Triangle still trailing by a goal to nil to FC Platinum. Now Bamara. Back to the goalkeeper is what they intend to do, Simba Bhora. With time almost not on their side, as they'll be looking forward to maybe salvage a draw in this last 3 or so minutes.
Nah, that'll be a miracle. They need a goal in each minute tonight if they'll be able to do that. I think Hardrock have just had the better of them this afternoon, probably, and maybe, just maybe, a consolation.
No Maringai. Sabura wins throw in, almost close to the corner flag. Time is definitely not on their side, but it's a different song altogether for Hardrock and their fans. Claire, a goal kick is the call. So a clearance, or rather goal kick to start the game that is slowly coming to an end. Tafa, the skipper for Simba Bhora. Oh, good skill there at Kasongo end. But probably the fans will be impressed with that as the game is slowly getting to full time. Sabura. Manando. Mindlove and Muringai. Chipunza. Back to Mafurume. Now Mandinye. Sabura. Running out of options. Sabura now. Trying to find a little bit of magic in this last 1 and some second minutes.
Yeah, Sabura has probably been the better of all the Simba Bhora players this afternoon. And even Yemi couldn't get a goal for Simba Bhora.
Now they're going on the counter charge. Makawa, the darting round on the right side, slowly coming into the box. Tried to square it back, but the defense was way away of where he wanted to play the ball. And maybe, just maybe, this corner kick will be the last kick of the day or of the game. That is if they don't convert into the back of the net.
Yeah, I think Kaindu will be impressed with the impact that the substitutions as well have had. I think they've just as been as impressive as those who started in the first 11. And that's always something good to see if you are the manager, that you can trust those who come in as substitutions, and they'll be able to make almost a similar impact as well in the game. And there's been a brilliant show from Hardrock.
Well, the match has come to an end. 3 goals and 3 points to make sure that Hardrock do climb back to the top of the Casablanca Premier League after match day 16. Washington are coming back from international duty and showing why the team really missed him. A brace to give the team 2 goals before the half-time break. And Makawa, the substitute, coming in the second half to put the icing on the cake. Kevin Kaindu impressed, and obviously the happy of the 2 managers. What a game of football. Fans did turn up in their numbers here at Chawanda Stadium in the heart of Kwekwe. And thank you once again from all the people who did tune in from wherever you are watching us from. It was a live coverage brought to you live by ZBC. We are going to be switching over to Valentine Mabuku, who's going to be in conversation with the managers.
Thank you very much, there to our match commentators. And of course, it ends here 3-0 in favor of, that is Hardrock, the brace from Washington, Navaya. And of course, they kept a great afternoon, this to go at the apex of the log as well. And that's a good victory that is for right now. That is for Hardrock. Right now, I'm joined by, that is the Simba Bhora coach, Malta Mpofu. Malta, difficult one to take, and 3-0 heavy defeat for you, but it didn't come good. Where do you think probably you might have lost it today?
I think our first goal that we conceded, after going all along with a very good game plan, our defensive shape was okay. We were keeping ball very, 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 very well. I think we saw that they were pressing us high, and we resorted to long ball, which was okay for us. But by the time we started to start from the back, that's where we conceded that goal. I think we get demoralized in the first half, and we conceded another one. But I think we had a better second half. Overall, second half was better because if you look at the goal that we conceded from a deflection, but overall, I think our defensive shape was very, 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 very good. But it's one of those games that we want to forget as a coach and move forward. We are playing another game in the next 3 days. What do? You focus. But I think I gave again some good youngsters some minutes to play, and they were looking good. We will soldier on.
All right, tough luck, coach. Nonetheless, all the best in the midweek fixtures.
Thank you.
All right, that is Coach Malta Mpofu there with that is the challenge that he and his side made some terrible mistakes today. That's why they didn't get the result that they wanted. But it was the man who was always in the offensive, wanting 3 points here to sit at the apex of the log. Kevin Kaindi, congratulations, sweet victory for you at home, particularly when you come back here and score 3 as well.
Yeah, I think it was a good response for us after a disappointing weekend. We responded quite well. The changes that we made, I think they were quite effective. We are happy with the way the defense played. I think we looked solid. We looked very confident. We were able to play from the back, which made it easy for us to manage to get the 3 goals that we have scored. But I'm sure with a bit of composure, we could have scored more goals today.
Indeed, and of course, you look at the return of Washington Navaya, a good addition to you, gives you a brace on his return.
Yeah, very good. I think on the day that he has returned, he gives us a brace. The 2 games that we played without him, we couldn't get a win. So he's a very key player for us, and he gets the man of the match at the end. That shows that he deserves to be in the national team. We still expect him to get more goals for us.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, that is Coach Kevin Kaindi. There is sweet victory for him as he gets, that is 3 points from home, and of course the return of Washington Navaya as well. And of course we can hope and talk to, that is the man of the match, and of course that is the navigator, and he has met a good return. Navigator, congratulations to you. I'm Mhlope, Amakorokoto to you. What a game. Good return. They missed you for 2 games. They couldn't win. You're back. You give them a brace.
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank God for this opportunity. Then ngotenda nema coaches zangu nekutibetsera kwavari kuita bateke stamba nekutenda nema teammates nesupport yavari kundipa.
Indeed, that's the prize for you, courtesy of Lucky Bets, and congratulations to you again. That is Washington Navaya, the man of the match, and you still want to order dedicator to this victory and this exact man of the match again.
I'm going to dedicate to my family, to my friends, to everyone who supports me. That's it.
Congratulations. Go and enjoy yourself. Makorokoto, I'm sure. All right, cheers. That is Washington Navaya, the man of the match this afternoon. Well, certainly hope you did enjoy this live broadcast of match day 16 of the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League as Hardrock thump that is Simba Bhora by 3-0 right here at Chawanda Stadium. And I'm sure it's time to celebrate the victory. We'll leave you watching the highlights of the match.
Whoa, Ropa Zimbabwe Manamato wedu kwa muri she Ropa Zimbabwe